Namaste, everybody. We are doing a podcast today with Nidra Devi Ji, whom I affectionately call Dadi, which is Grandma. She's amazing. You'll get to see her in a few seconds. Before that, I wanted to show you the ashram and the home where she lives in, and the beautiful, the vibration. Like if you were here with me right now, you would feel the good vibes from this place, and it's so peaceful. It's you automatically calm down. And I'm sitting beside Guru Maharaj Ji. He's the one who started Krishna Consciousness throughout the world. And as Dadi would tell you later, he came here to Denver in 1975. And that's when he started spreading the message of love and Krishna, and I think she's met him too. So that's pretty amazing. So this is him, and this is Lord Chaitanya behind him. And I would also like to show you a little bit of the hall where you'll see Lord Narasimha. See you in a bit. Hi again. So we are here with this amazing portrait of Lord Narasimha. It's just, I'm learning more about him, and recently we had a huge celebration in the temple, and it was so great, and there were stories told about him and how he came and he saved Prahlad, and yeah, so I have yet to learn a lot, but just look at him. Like isn't he amazing? There is terror for people who are guilty, and there is, I don't know, I find this a little cute too. So now Dadi will tell you a little bit about him, and then we'll move on.
Hare Krishna. This is Lord Narasimha Dev. He's Yoga Narasimha. He's in a very peaceful mood, and usually we see Lord Narasimha Dev in a fierce mood, and this mood is very, very gentle and peaceful. He's in a yoga posture. He's a beautiful deity from South India who's come here some few years back, and he's being worshipped here in the Srila Prabhupada Museum, and he is protecting the devotees, and he will help us overcome obstacles. So take shelter of Lord Narasimha Dev. Jai Narasimha Dev.
Hello, Namaste. We are here with Nidra Devi Ji, whom I affectionately call Dadi, for this podcast. She was so gracious to accept my invitation, and we are here to talk about Krishna. That's how we met her. We went to this temple every Sunday, and I just felt so peaceful every time I spoke to her. I was in her presence, and I just asked her, like, would you do a podcast with me? And she agreed, and so here we are. I am so thrilled, so excited, and I can't thank you enough for doing this with me.
Thank you, Swastika. You're very kind. Thanks, Adi, for all that you're doing.
Okay, so let's get started with, so what fascinated me was, I always wondered how you got to know about Krishna. How did you start your spiritual journey? And if you want to just throw some light on that.
Yes. So when I was in my school days, in the late 60s, there was a famous off-Broadway show called Hair, and they actually chanted the Maha Mantra in that show.
Okay.
So, and I grew up in that area of metropolitan New York, so I had heard about the Hare Krishnas, I heard about the show, I heard about the mantra, and at that time I was a university student in the later 60s. So I understood that there's, coming from India, all kinds of gurus and practice of different types of yoga, different books on transcendental knowledge. So in a kind of a general sense, I was interested in looking east for wisdom and lifestyle and spiritual essence. I was really searching for it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that not many people around you were thinking like that. So how did you kind of forge your own path?
Yeah, it was a little difficult, even in the late 60s as a university student, to be a full-fledged vegetarian at that time was odd. You were a very odd, unusual person, believe it or not, even just, that short time ago.
Yeah.
And so to be interested in that was against the common, flow of lifestyle. But with a lot of introduction in the music world, like the Beatles and different groups, there was an introduction to Indian gurus, Indian music, Indian culture. So in that time, they called it the counterculture in the US.
Okay.
There was looking to the East for knowledge. People in the West, the young people, were frustrated with the war in Vietnam, the civil rights movement they were trying to be active in to give all people equal rights. And so it was a time of a lot of tumult and also awareness and hippies. And so it was a time to explore. And a lot of exploration was focused on India at that time amongst many of the young people.
Yeah. But it's still brave of you to get on a path where, so many things were uncertain for you. So that's very brave. Yeah.
At first, I was still very consumed with the whole idea of a career, getting through school, these kind of things. And at the same time, I was still interested in a proper kind of path with mantra meditation and these things. But still, I was consumed with this idea of trying to help the world through some kind of profession. Actually, at one time, I wanted to be involved with the United Nations. They had an organization called UNESCO for helping children around the world.
Yes.
So my understanding was I should contribute to the world somehow or other. And that's why I was seeking what I called the essence of life, so I could dovetail that into a career that would help other people. Materially and spiritually.
Yeah, but from the way I see it, you recognized that at the end, everybody wants peace, and you started with that. So I think you started from the top, and then you kind of figured other things out as you went. And most people, we just go through life, try to do things, and at the end, what do you want? You want peace. So, right? It's just interesting to see the way people think about, they want to reach the same place, but some people take more time, some people never reach there, some people, but it's okay. Okay, so before we talk about anything else, let's dive straight into what is it about Krishna that you think people don't know? There's so many things people know, right? He plays the flute, he loves the cows, So what is it about Krishna that you think world doesn't know and maybe needs to know? Or
even if someone understands that Krishna is God, I don't think we fully realize how much he loves us. I don't think they know that. They could read, from Krishna book or anything, they could read so many things about his pastimes, his qualities, but in their heart, they may not actually know how much he really loves every single soul. So that would be best thing that everybody could feel. Yeah.
Be open to feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I was not expecting that. Okay. That is that. Even the non-believers, he loves the non-believers too.
Everyone. Krishna is so much, you could say, the greatest lover, the greatest person, because he doesn't discriminate. He loves all souls. And it's just like, say, a parent who has two children. One may be quite a rebel. The other may be very well behaved, but the parents, they love both,
Both.
right?
Is that true though? I think the eldest gets the most love, no? Okay.
But yeah, it's true in the sense that somebody may have a little bit of partiality towards their own children or towards the child who's the most reciprocating, you know. So that's natural. Yeah, that's a natural
but
kind
I think
of
you're
speciality.
Right. You love all your children.
Yeah,
equal,
but still, then there's the love of the whole family of children. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that, and yeah, thank you for that. So everybody knows about Bhagavad Gita, even if they have not read it, even if they have not gotten a chance to explore it. It takes a lifetime, maybe more than one lifetime, to actually get the essence of it. What other, or if not some other book, then what particular section of the Gita or any book on Krishna that really speaks to you, that you want to get back to every day, every week?
Yeah. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's special, they call kernel verses in the 10th chapter.
Okay.
And one verse that the devotees love is Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajitam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamubuyanti Te. And that's 10:10. So one who's dedicating their service and their love to the Lord, then He gives understanding to them. So that's a really beautiful section, those kernel central verses. And then a chapter that I really love is chapter 12. It's about devotional service, and it teaches that loving service to the Lord, which is bhakti yoga, is the essence of our nature, like our soul's real nature is this eternal loving service and relationship with Krishna. Yeah, with Radha and Krishna. There's this, what they call a relationship rasa, something based on the real transcendental divine juice of a loving exchange. And so that's something very special.
Oh, that's beautiful. And as you were talking about this, I was just wondering, it's a very childlike question, but is there a way to summarize, or if you were given, say, 3 things or just a sentence to kind of summarize the Gita, do you think it's possible? Do you have any answer to that?
Yeah. To me, it means Bhagavad Gita as it is. Prabhupada presented the Gita, the essence of it, which is bhakti, loving devotional service. So it's like really gets to the essence. And it gets to the essence of Krishna. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and He's actually speaking. And He's speaking these words for everybody, for Arjuna, but also everyone. So in other words, it's personal for everyone. It has a message for everyone.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, Nidra Ji, do you want to tell us a little bit about Guru Maharaj Ji and his luggage and all of that? So we are sitting in his presence, and it almost looks like he's gonna just talk to us anytime. So yeah, over to you. Yeah.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada came here in 1975 to Denver. He was traveling the world visiting all his temples. And he would visit to see the welfare of the disciples, see how everything is going. So his one visit to Denver was 1975. And that was the end of June, beginning July. Very nice weather here. It was, like I was telling you, Prabhupada liked it. He said, oh, this is just like the upcountry of India, the Punjab. It's so pleasant. And he was very happy to go on morning walks at the local city park. So Prabhupada was a world traveler, and he was that even at the advanced age in his 70s and early 80s, to spread Krishna consciousness. So his whole mission was Krishna sent him to this world to give Krishna to the conditioned souls. And so his whole life was meant to share that love in his heart, love of God, with everyone in the world. So he was here doing that with us, and he was translating his literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, while he was here in Denver. He was meeting with the devotees, giving them spiritual strength and support. In his travels, he used this suitcase, traveling around the world. And right here where he's sitting now, he was translating Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was meeting with guests and devotees. And in other words, he was managing a whole worldwide movement, traveling constantly, sitting down with devotees and doing what only someone who was empowered by the Lord himself could do. Nobody even to think of someone at that age. But
That's
to speak
right.
of, So that was his special blessings on us to come here.
Oh, wonderful.
To be on the same lines, like how do you maintain your trust in God or your faith or that spiritual connection when you're going through really bad times, and especially when you lose a loved one? I have recently been through that experience, and I kind of, for many days, I kind of struggled. That's when I stopped coming to the temple too, where I just didn't know how to have that connection with God again, that relationship. It just changed some things in me, and how do you so you kind of, it amazes me that your relationship grew stronger from your bad experience. It takes tremendous amount of strength for that.
And that, it's so wonderful that all of the devotees that have come here representing the Parampara, like Srila Prabhupada and his guru, all the way on up to Krishna, they have these special relationships with the Lord. So our Parampara, the Gaudiya, Madhva Gaudiya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, has a special relationship with Radha and Krishna. So because all of our acharyas are all serving Radha and Krishna, and we're just the servants of their servants' servants, so you feel a special connection, especially with Radharani, because you see that she makes Krishna so happy. Right? Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada was here in 1975, right here in the neighborhood. Also, you'll see pictures of Prabhupada at the city park and in the airport on his arrival, in the neighborhood, in front of the house right here. He's on the steps, the same steps right in front of our ashram. Prabhupada with his servant and his secretary at the time. And then Prabhupada entering into the entrance of the ashram, everyone throwing flower petals. It's very beautiful, glorious welcome with the chanting of the holy names to Srila Prabhupada. Now here we have a really beautiful portrait of Prabhupada painted by Srinivas Das, who was here in the 70s. And so beautiful way to remember Prabhupada as he's sitting on his Vyasasana and chanting Jai Radha Madhava. And here's Prabhupada in the neighborhood right near the temple, walking with all the devotees and getting ready to come into the temple. So they're all so happy of his first arrival in Denver. And then here's Prabhupada at City Park. The devotees are recording what he's saying. They have conversations with him. He's at the park, just below the museum off of Colorado Boulevard. And then in here we have Srila Prabhupada walking in the park. He's having a morning walk. He would always have a walk wherever he would go around the world in the morning hours for his health. And here's Prabhupada in the temple room on his Vyasasana, and his servant and secretary is putting sandalwood pulp on Prabhupada's forehead. It's cooling. He's come in a warm month of June, and so the sandalwood is applied to his forehead. And then also again at the park, you can see Prabhupada's being recorded. The devotees, different sannyasis and devotees living here are accompanying him in the walk right by the pond at the park. And those are recorded, those conversations. And this is also at the park, these three photos here, Prabhupada talking to the devotees, instructing them. They're recording, and also the photographers taking pictures. And here we have Prabhupada in the limousine. They picked him up in the limousine, and they would bring him to the park in the mornings in the limousine. This is Prabhupada at the airport. This is Srila Prabhupada at the park again. These are all park pictures here. So it was a very special time for the devotees. It was, for some of them, their first time to be personally with Srila Prabhupada. And you can see the expressions on their faces, sometimes very serious, sometimes laughing, depending on what Prabhupada would say. So these are all coming, these photos from the Bhaktivedanta archives. So we really appreciate.
He looks so peaceful.
Very regal stance. Yeah, it's representative of Krishna. Yeah.